So I'm here at the Sussex Arms in Tunbridge Wells, so I just want to start off by saying who you are and what your role is in the band.
I'm Pete, play guitar.
I'm Ben, I shout.
I'm Ben and play guitar as well.
Okay, two Bens, that's going to get confusing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ben 2. Ben 1, Ben 2.
Okay, so for people listening that haven't heard of Cove, how would you describe your music?
I think we're just a heavy band. Like I wouldn't really like pigeonhole us to like a genre as such. The kind of bands we like are sort of like early metalcore bands, like Norma Jean, Under Oath, things like that. So I think, you know, if you were going to put us in a pocket, it'd probably be early 2000s sort of metalcore, I guess. So yeah.
I think it's got good bits of other genres as well. But yeah, what Pete said, like, can't really be pigeonholed to a certain sort of style, I guess. But
we all listen to like lots of different stuff, don't we? So that all comes together and makes something fresh.
I think a lot of us don't actually really listen to heavy music anymore as well. So it's kind of like we just write songs that are fun to play live. I think that's it, really. So
Yeah. Okay. For influences, do you think it's important to keep like a wide scope in your sound?
Definitely, yeah. I think I definitely think like the songs we have on the latest EP are sort of the more broader ones that we've had before, like especially having Ben, like, you know, having a lot more clean singing and sort of going down that route. It's like really cool, and I think especially on this EP with everyone's like taken from their own influences more so than ever before. So yeah.
Okay, so it's been a hell of a year for you guys. You've really shot up the ranks recently. So I remember saying before we started, you guys playing in Hastings just over a year ago, and now you're in Kerrang, Metal Hammer. What's it like to be on this sort of journey at the moment?
It's good. It's great, honestly. But it's just like what we were saying with Parting Gift, the band we're on tour with. You get stuff like that, and it's really exciting. But we're just sort of so hungry for it. We're just like, what's the next thing? How can we? And I think that's important to do that, to not get something and be like, cool, right, let's have a break, let's just keep going and going.
I think we're like really grateful for it, obviously, but I think I think it's just one of those things. It's like, cool, now I've done that, I've ticked that off the bucket list, you know, what's the next thing? So I think it's one of those, you know. But yeah, like this year's been really cool. Like I feel like there's definitely been progression, like seeing at the shows as well, like people turning up that, like, you know, are travelling from, you know, getting like a hour train down to see us and stuff. It's cool. Like, people don't have to do that. Do you know what I mean?
The moment you stop wanting more and fighting for more is the moment your band dies.
Yeah.
On the scene at the moment, there's a lot of bands rising up the ranks at the moment, and the genre in general is getting a lot more exposure. Do you feel like is it exciting being on the scene at the moment?
I think so, yeah. Like, to be fair, like heavy music now is like, it's definitely changing, and I think like there's a lot of bands like doing some pretty cool stuff, and it's really cool to be like included in that. Like when you see people, like even things like on Twitter, and you see people like shouting out, being like, I love these bands at the moment. You're like tagged in bands, like other bands that you respect, and it's bands that to us we're like, you know, they're doing a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like it's cool that people view us in the same bunch as that, you know. So yeah,
it's nice to see heavy music move back on top. I think it's definitely growing.
It's a good time for it.
Yeah.
So obviously you guys are moving up the ranks as well. Anyone that checks you out after this and likes what they hear, are there any other bands you'd recommend them check?
No.
There's loads of bands doing it, mate. I think
there is
like
so many.
There's like, you know, like obvious ones like Holding Absence and stuff are doing it. Parting Gift are great, you know, like
Low.
Yeah, like great bands like doing like interesting stuff. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Because we're being interviewed, I can't think of any, but there are loads.
Memory block. Yeah.
So obviously you've got a new EP out at the moment and currently on tour. Where do you see things going in the future from here? Like, what's up next?
We've got some stuff in summer that's not announced yet, but that'll be cool. And yeah, I think like in terms of inside the band, you know, we're working on new music like now. So yeah, and there's a few things that are like set up in the future. Can't really like say now because they're not announced. But yeah, there's some cool stuff late this year, and writing some new music and just sort of being a band, I suppose. Yeah.
We mentioned metalcore and the scene in general being on the rise at the moment. Do you feel like sort of the big news and media outlets and music are doing enough to help the local scene?
I think so. Like, it's cool to see things like Kerrang. Like the first EP we did, like Kerrang didn't even touched us, but this time it's been like great with magazines like that, and like Kerrang! It's like, you know, we all grew up like buying it. It's cool for them to see. It's cool to see them like supporting, like, you know, small bands. Like, we're still a small band, and you know,
it's really cool as well to see. I think it's Rock Sound. It might be correct, but I think it's Rock Sound. But they do like sections in the magazine that sort of highlight specific underground venues and promoters as well, and they're like well known for putting on bands like us and bands in our sort of on our sort of level. So it's nice that they get sort of recognition, and it hopefully will encourage more people to go out to local shows and support their local music scene. So yeah.
Go for one final question before I disappear. I ask this to every band and I get all sorts of answers. So if you could go on tour with any band, past or present, who would you go for?
any band ever.
Any band ever.
Can we choose like one each?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna hate mine. You're gonna hate
I already know what yours
I'm
is.
not allowed to
I
say
reckon, like, not that we'd suit it at all. Black Sabbath, just be mental, wouldn't it? Yeah, Aussie, man.
Oh, okay.
Riffs.
I got into music because of Angus Young, so AC/DC.
Nice.
Everyone's gonna hate me, but I don't care. My favourite band has always been Green Day, so I'd love to go out with Green Day.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I got Prince as an answer once from
That's cool,
a hard rock band.
I love Madonna, so like if we got a Madonna sport, I'd be like well up for it. So.
Bit of Madonna influence on the next
like,
EP.
we're all like
We all
massive
love
Coldplay
Coldplay
fans,
and
so like
stuff like that.
like Coldplay support. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you heard it first here. There's going to be some Coldplay influence on the next Cove EP.
Probably.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time, guys. I really appreciate
Cheers,
it.
dude. Thank you.
Cheers,
Cheers, man.